this was a record fundraising round. We know there was a lot attached to this fundraising round, including a promise of a conversion to a for-profit entity. Why did you feel it was compelling to invest now and at this valuation?
Well, we've been doing work on AI for 10 years, and we've been waiting for the companies that were really that Nvidia was going to hand the baton to. Not that Nvidia's story is over at all, but as you know, Nvidia has basically been communicating, and investors have been buying a very big idea. And for Nvidia to continue to work, we think there are going to be other winners. We think that the foundation model players are going to be very big winners, $15 to $20 trillion in market cap in the next 5 to 10 years. We put out a piece in our Sunday newsletter you can find on arc-invest.com, and we're going to put out a lot more on this. So
Cathie Wood discusses the significance of OpenAI's recent $6.6 billion funding round, where ARK Invest participated alongside other major investors like Thrive Capital and SoftBank. She notes that AI is transforming industries, predicting that foundation model players like OpenAI will become major winners, contributing to a $15 to $20 trillion market cap in the next 5 to 10 years. She likens this technological revolution to the railroad era but highlights how quickly AI is consolidating into key players, which include OpenAI, nvda, and Google with Gemini. Wood emphasizes that AI's rapid development will enhance productivity, not eliminate jobs. Wood also responds to Elon Musk's criticism of OpenAI, saying it reflects the company's history, while she focuses on the future. Despite Musk's concerns, she acknowledges OpenAI as a leader and remains forward-looking, confident in identifying the big winners in AI. Additionally, Wood discusses ARK Invest's strategy, explaining that although Nvidia has seen massive growth, ARK is more focused on software players in the AI space, like Palantir and UiPath. She mentions that ARK's venture fund enables investment in private AI companies, furthering their involvement in this rapidly evolving sector. Finally, Wood discusses Tesla and SpaceX as key players in the AI revolution. She highlights Tesla's leadership in autonomous mobility, driven by its proprietary data, positioning it to dominate the global robotaxi market. This market, she believes, is a $4 to $5 trillion revenue opportunity over the next decade. Wood underscores Tesla's data advantage, stating that no competitor can match it, and describes Tesla as leading the largest AI project in the world today.
OpenAI leading the charge, really, Anthropic, xAI, so Elon Musk and team, and even Elon, I think, is saying those three, and Google with Gemini are the big four. And, you know, unlike the railroad era, and many people are comparing this to the railroad era, I think that the four winners are showing themselves very quickly. Whereas in the railroad era, which, by the way, accounted for 63% of the stock market in its heyday in the early 1900s, unlike the railroads, there were hundreds. I think there were hundreds. We can focus on the big winners. This space is moving so quickly and is going to become so big because it's effectively substituting software for labor. Not that this is going to kill jobs at all. It's going to make people much more productive, and they're already seeing it with ChatGPT just as a starter.
And of course, the four companies you just mentioned are all companies that you are invested in through your funds. I mean, you mentioned xAI. It's been interesting because Elon Musk, co-founder of OpenAI, has been very vocal, very critical of where OpenAI is headed and the direction in which Sam Altman is taking it. Do you disagree?
I think what he's talking about is more about the history of the company, and we're looking at the future. And I was happy to hear that he did mention, of course, OpenAI as one of the leaders. Of course it is. So, you know, we're just looking to the future. I know there's a history there, and, you know, what's done is done. And we're just looking forward, trying to figure out who are going to be the big winners in this space.
Cathie, I want to look back at the innovation fund for a moment. Over some periods of time, see the S&P is up 34% over a year, beating ARK Innovation by 14 points, 94% over 5 years, beating that fund by 84 points, 191% over 10 years. That's for the S&P, beating the innovation fund by 64 points pretty much since inception. What do you say to investors who look at that performance and doubt that you're making the right calls?
Yes, I would say, first of all, our compound annual rate of return since inception has been nearly 10%. We went through a boom in 2020 during COVID, where we were up 360%. And we had valuation and interest rates and concentration in the markets working against us. We are a diversified exposure to innovation, truly disruptive innovation. I would focus people on the fact, and looking at your chart there, that if you take away that boom and bust, what we have now is three forces working for us and a long base. Again, you take away, you can say we have a base after that period. You can look since 2018, we've been basing. And I remember saying this with Tesla at the time, the longer the base, the bigger the breakout. And we certainly were right there. The three forces that I think are going to become tailwinds now, they have been headwinds. Interest rates, they're coming down. And I think they're going, despite what we saw in the employment report today, I do think that they will come down more than people think during the months ahead. The second is the concentration in the market towards the Mag 6. That is starting to dissipate. And I think that will work in our favor. And then the third is valuation. During August, when the market got hit, our valuation, as measured by enterprise value to EBITDA, dropped to nearly a market multiple. We were basically sitting on a market multiple at 21 times EBITDA, enterprise value relative to EBITDA. Now, we do adjust it for stock-based compensation, which is really important when it comes to innovation, alignment with shareholders, as well as normalize R&D. But that valuation typically is twice the market's, and we hit the market. So now I'm looking at what were headwinds turning around and becoming tailwinds, and a very long base to break out of.
Can you give us your thesis on AI refreshed now? Because you were right to be focused on AI, but you sold Nvidia before a monster run. It kind of could have been your Tesla, I imagine, of the AI thesis. So how much hardware, how much software, where do platform versus applications fit in here? Because it looks like you sold Nvidia starting maybe a little less than a couple years ago now. Correct me where I'm wrong there, and bought software.
Yes. So we didn't sell Nvidia across the board. We kept it in our more specialized, focused funds like autonomous technology and robotics, next generation internet. So ARKQ, ARKW, they have held it. It has not been in the top 10. We have been looking for the software players, the Palantirs, UiPaths, and so forth. OpenAI, a lot of them are in the private sector, and we're really happy to have a venture fund now, so that we can participate there. So we believe that the tech stack around AI is going to change somewhat. We believe that the software as a service part of the tech stack, which represents 40% of it, will diminish. It won't go down. The whole space is going to be growing very rapidly. But in terms of share shift, you'll see more shifting down to platform as a service and infrastructure as a service. And the reason for that is because we're not going to have to rely on one-size-fits-all software as a service. Now that engineers are becoming so much more productive, developers so much more productive, we believe they will, inside enterprises, be using these incredibly productive tools to customize this software for their own company. So we do think there's going to be a shift among the categories, but the whole space, we think, is going to grow very rapidly.
And of course, you did just mention the venture fund. Your largest holding there is SpaceX, which we can talk about how fast OpenAI is growing, but SpaceX is still the most highly valued private U.S. company as well right now. And then, of course, Tesla with AI. You've got the robotaxi event next week. I mean, just looking at these two companies, is there one you're more excited about right now? Which one holds more promise?
Which one? You mean, are you talking about SpaceX, OpenAI?
SpaceX and Tesla.
Oh, SpaceX and Tesla. Well, we are excited about both of them. Tesla, in our public funds, is the largest position in our flagship and in our autonomous technology and robotics fund. So we're extremely excited about it because this robotaxi event, we believe, will be an important reason for analysts to think very carefully about what autonomous mobility is all about and how importantly placed Tesla is. Tesla's in the pole position, and if you look at these AI opportunities, we're looking at winner take most in autonomous taxi platforms. The company to get people from point A to point B the fastest and the safest is probably going to win the lion's share of the market. That company is Tesla, and it is because of its proprietary data. And no one comes close. You can add the data that everyone vying for this space has, pull it all together, and Tesla still has orders of magnitudes more data more. And I would say, just in terms of this focus on data, it's very interesting what Elon Musk is doing here. Data is the secret sauce when it comes to the winners in AI, proprietary data. And think about the proprietary data out of Tesla, X, SpaceX. And we think that XAI is going to have and even Neuralink, so the multiomics data, highly differentiated data. So we're paying very close attention there. But if you look at the biggest opportunity short term around AI, Tesla is the largest AI project in the world. We think autonomous taxi platforms globally, including China, the platform opportunity is a $4 to $5 trillion revenue opportunity in the next 5 to 10 years. And it is going to be winner take most.
Cathie would shared some powerful insights into the future of AI and where she sees the biggest opportunities. Here are 3 key questions to consider. Is AI the next industrial revolution? Wood compares the rapid rise of AI to the railroad era and predicts companies like OpenAI, nvda, and Google's Gemini could dominate a market worth $15 to $20 trillion in the next decade. Can Tesla's data advantage make it the leader in autonomous mobility? Wood believes Tesla's proprietary data puts it in the pole position to win the $4 to $5 trillion global robotaxi market. And finally, is the real value in AI shifting from hardware to software? While Nvidia has surged, Wood sees future growth coming from AI software players like Palantir and UiPath, which could reshape industries.